Hello there, you. Welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News. Here at the desk, we'll be learning to speak English first and foremost. No, we'll be talking about injuries, player positions, situations, stuff like that. The next day, or the day after rather, Chelsea qualified into the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup, which predominantly is good news. Even though we saw a frustrating and quite dysfunctional performance from a heavily rotated Chelsea side. Still, we move, we qualify, that's the most important thing. But we've got a few first-teamers that are out injured, more than I thought actually. So we're going to reflect on that and talk about other players that can come in and, move from there. So get comfortable, settle in, consider subscribing. If you're new to the channel and you want to, see more of this content from yours truly, you might dig it. I often sit here reflecting on news articles, but also a lot of edit-heavy style videos as well behind me. Against the wall, I can't point to that side. There you go, that side. I did a video yesterday morning that you might enjoy that I put a lot of time into, so do consider checking that out. And also, to continue the housework, do consider checking out my Twitch channel, where I stream every single day. Generally video games, FIFA 22, Ultimate Team, Chelsea Career Mode, some FPS, and we're cultivating a wonderful community over there, hanging out with each other. It's awesome. I'll put a link in the description. Thank you guys for coming to support the Twitch. Alright then, let's take a look at this. Courtesy of Football.London, we are discussing, we're sourcing information on injured players. Interesting. Starting on Cesar Azpilicueta. The Spaniard has been a regular throughout Thomas Tuchel's tenure. Beautiful piece of alliteration there. Both as a centre-back and a right wing-back. But he picked up a knock in training last week. Yeah, this actually slipped past my... What was I going to say? Slipped past my gaze? That sounds like I sound like a villain in a Harry Potter film. Anyway, speaking after the game, his manager revealed Azpilicueta was meant to play against the Saints, but was forced to sit out after injuring his shoulder in training. However, it doesn't seem too serious, fortunately, for us. What Tuchel has said: we hope Azpi is back for the weekend. He has a shoulder injury yesterday in training when he fell on it. Ouch. It's very painful, but Azpi, he's a tough guy. He's expected back for Newcastle away. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, this one's a frustrating one because, he's been in scintillating form, looking like our most influential outfield player of late. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was another player to miss out midweek. The player has been brought in from the cold this season and has impressed in midfield. Amen, he has, cementing his place as a firm fan favourite. Lovely piece of alliteration again in the process. However, Tuchel revealed that he was feeling some pain in his hip and had to sit out Tuesday night's game. Tuchel said, Ruben has pain in his hip, in his joint. And actually on that, Simon Johnson of The Athletic also tweeted about these injuries, and he said Ruben Loftus-Cheek's injury is possibly the most serious. Although he did say his thigh in his tweet, which has confused me a little bit. But the inference was Ruben Loftus-Cheek injury is the most serious, so it'll be so frustrating for the lad because he's come into the team. The one thing that everyone was saying is we don't need Ruben to get injured now. He's been so good. A feel-good story. He was amazing under Sarri. He's looking like he's back to his best. Granted, slightly different positionally, more central and more deeper, because of course he played like a shuttling 8 before. Yeah, man, if this guy's injured again, just as he was finding his groove, it's just heartbreaking, but, that's the game. The game stayed the game, always. Let me know what that reference is down in the comments if you got it. Next up on the list, by the way, I do want to talk about strikers after this. Andreas Christensen. Christensen has been one of Chelsea's standout performers this season, and last, by the way. But it was also missing on Tuesday night after the Denmark international suffered with an issue with his teeth. Whoa. But Tuchel confirmed that the minor surgery undertaken should not prove too disruptive to the centre-back. Andreas had surgery and should be fine to train Tuesday. Well, it's in your gob, innit? It's in your math. It should be alright. Do you know what? I don't know why they didn't say this, but it sounds like he got a tooth knocked out in training. He's minor collision training, dental surgery. It does sound like they just had a tooth knocked out and he needs to get it stuck back in. That's what it sounds like to me. If it is the truth, why don't they just say stuff like that? It's funny. But that shouldn't affect your football, should it? It's all inside your mouth. You just carry on. It's all protected. If you close your mouth, it's protected. Alright, moving on. Let's talk about Big Rom, who's been posting a lot of pictures on social media while Chelsea go through to the quarter-finals. There is certainly a sharp intake of breath against Malmo as Lukaku's heavy knock in the process of winning the penalty there was, especially when his ankle bent. I was like, no. The Belgian forward was receiving treatment for a few minutes before he was forced off the pitch to be replaced by Kai Havertz. Any injury, of course, will be a big blow for the Blues amid Lukaku's somewhat inconsistent form. He is set to have tests on the problem to determine how long he will be out for. Tuchel said, Romelu twisted his ankle when he was fouled in the box, so it will take a while. We need more examinations to be more precise, but that will be for some matches. So I think they just don't want to because he's quite a big lump, Lukaku, as well. I don't think they want to be like, oh, he should come back then, when he can be pushed back. I compared it to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, his Achilles injury being a lot longer recovery than Callum Hudson-Odoi's Achilles injury. Now, I don't know this for sure, but my sort of gut reflex is that it's because he's a big, heavier dude with a heavier load on a small part of the body in your foot. So maybe that's the case with Lukaku. He's an absolute unit, man. So we'll have to see. Hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. But we had not much noises so far in terms of implying when he'll be back. Timo Werner, finally. Lukaku's injury might not have seemed so bad had fellow Timo Werner has not also sustained an injury against Malmo in the same game, man. How improbable. The German striker suffered a hamstring problem before halftime on Wednesday and joined Lukaku with the sidelines to be replaced by Hudson-Odoi, of course, in that game. Muscle injury and hamstrings for Timo. They will be some days out, I guess. So, yeah, obviously a bit, not giving you much information there from Big Tommy Tuchel. Do I just sneeze? Yes, is the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if anyone will say bless you in the comments. Some dust got on my nose there. Speaking on strikers, a lot of people have been clamouring for the recall of loanee Armando Broja, certainly while we've got Lukaku and Timo Werner out together. Broja's obviously been very, very good at youth level at Vitesse, and now Southampton sort of getting into the team, being that rotational striker, being trusted. I mean, if they're going to throw Livramento into the starting lineup straight away, they must feel good about all Chelsea loanees, right? So yeah, Hasenhüttl does feel really positively about Armando Broja. Problem being that there's some conflicting reports on whether Chelsea can recall Broja in January. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, man. And I'm reading conflicting reports. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. And the sort of meeting in the middle and most likely situation is both clubs have to agree. Now, Chelsea might be like, can we have him back, please? Saints might just be like, no. He's doing well. Unless there's like certain clauses in certain loan contracts where they can recall him regardless, which is pretty cruel, to be honest. I think we had something like that with Nathan Ake, didn't we? We recalled Nathan Ake. And I don't think Bournemouth wanted to let him go, so there obviously is those instances when you can recall players, maybe against the other club's will, but I'm reading that isn't the case with Broja. I will keep looking up and trying to find the correct information on this, so stick with me, make sure you keep it locked to Football Therapy. I think if that is the case, that both clubs have to agree, it's much, much more likely that both clubs agree the return of, say, a Billy Gilmour from Norwich, who's not even in the starting lineup at the moment, and was, widely accepted as the most talented player in the squad when they got him on loan from Chelsea. So it's tricky. But because he's not playing, they might be like, yeah, look, you can have him back. And we'd be like, yeah, can we have him back? But with Broja, I think it's a little bit more tricky. I think Chelsea the conversations are coming up a lot because 2 striker injuries, possibly problems clicking up top. But we look good without striker sometimes anyway, so it's very, very difficult. I've also read an article this morning on Team Talk, which I'm not going to share with you because it's Chelsea mulling over the possibility of making a January signing of Mauro Icardi. Now, I don't want Icardi because I think he's fallen off ever since he went to PSG. I don't want Icardi because of his wife Wanda. If you follow all the drama that she brings wherever she goes, you don't want that anywhere near your club. And I don't want Icardi as well because if Chelsea are going to buy an elite top striker and spend out the money and spend the wages on another elite striker, I just don't want Icardi. Maybe that goes to the first point that he's fallen off. Like, he's a poacher extraordinaire, but I don't know, man. Like, yeah, so I'm not going to share that with you. I mean, I've told you the story now already just here, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, keep it locked. Of course, I'll keep you updated of any and all Chelsea news here on Chelsea News Series on Football Therapy. Of course, videos vary between me here sitting at the desk and, of course, heavily edited style videos at the wall. Do check every video to see which is which. Just let me know which you prefer. Of course, I'll urge you and remind you to check out my Twitch channel, where I am streaming every single ruddy day, and you can come and be part of that community. I'll leave a link down in the description. But for the moment, I think that's it. So thank you for joining me here today, friends, and giving me your time. I appreciate it. Please do consider dropping a like on the way out to show some support. Yeah, enjoy the football. I'll see you later.